Cause my mind on my money and my mind on sun red pussy. Good morning, everybody.
Oh,
my goodness.
Morning, everyone.
Treats in your ear. And good morning to you on this beautiful Thursday morning. Rise and shine, sunrisers. And welcome to another thankful Thursday. I am your Queen Diva, Miss Kitty, and beside me is the very handsome and affable Uncle Dennis.
Morning, folks.
Good morning.
How you doing?
How are you doing today
I'm
on this
good.
May 22,
May 22.
2025?
Yes.
There will never, ever be another
Nope.
May 22, 2025. And so it is imperative that we make the most of today and that we make today count.
Absolutely.
As I've often said, time wasted can never be regained.
Never.
You never have the same moment twice. So make each moment count. It's the day before Labor Day.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell
what do you
you.
do on Labor Day?
No, normally, back in the day, back in the day, we used to whitewash the curb in the community.
Yeah.
Everybody come out and paint. You sweep up, you paint. You just do little things around the house.
Yeah.
What I used to do on Labor Day too, you tidy up your room. You
Yeah.
straighten up your room and stuff like that. But I don't know, Dennis. I have realized or noticed, maybe it's just from my vantage point, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know, people just not take Labor Day as a community. For me, Labor Day was very communal.
It was always supposed to be a community-centric day.
Yeah. People cook, you know what I mean? I look at boat run. You do
identify
stuff.
a project in the community.
Yeah.
And it was about collective energy, collective security, security.
Yeah, movement, you know?
Yeah, so, and I hope that communities are doing that. But I think also it is, as society has modernized and we've become more individualistic, I think we kind of focus more.
Everybody in their own silo, okay, I'm over here and you're over there. But what do you normally do on a Labor Day?
As an adult, I found that Labor Day has come at a time, well, as a teacher, Labor Day usually comes at a time of extreme exhaustion.
Yeah,
because after I went through the process of marking all the SBAs and making sure that everything was done in time to send up to CXC and so forth and so on, and then the exams and, so by May 23,
Flug out.
I usually take the day and I crash on May 23. Yeah, usually. But then now, I've always had to, in this current dispensation of my life, I have projects for my work on and things that I'm working on and overseeing, and so it's usually a busy day.
Right. So you're laboring on Labor Day.
Yeah.
I know for a lot of people tomorrow's going to be a holiday, and I know people will say, and they probably are right. Labor Day is not for people who don't work. They said they're going to go do something today. I'm going to rest today. Today is my rest day, so go and labor for me, because I'm laboring all around all the time. So
I have some friends who got married on Labor Day one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Shane and Marlon Johnson. They got married on Labor Day.
Nice. I wonder why they chose that day. I wonder why people choose the day. Did you have a particular reason you chose your wedding day?
I didn't have a particular reason.
Yeah.
I didn't have...
What date did you choose?
So it's August 14.
Okay.
And I never...
Dennis, say...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's August 14.
So is there a significance to August 14?
It wasn't before, but it was during the pandemic, and we weren't going to keep waiting.
Yeah.
And I know because there were restrictions on gatherings, and nobody never really did my wedding.
Yeah, but that is good.
Exactly. In retrospect.
I got to tell you.
Pro tip. But we did have...
my wedding is a Zoso. Yes, I renew my vows in a Zoso. I want to special operation.
Yeah,
Zoso.
Special operation.
Yeah. I cannot invite you because remember you cannot leave your house. The police are gonna lock you up. Stay home.
My married friends were like, Brooks, you think you're smart.
Clutch.
But we did have a gathering the week before. So I have friends who think my anniversary is August 7th.
Oh.
But because we had this thing, but outside of a church, that was at Pegasus. I was very socially distant, some district thing, but everybody far. And my family abroad was via Zoom, and it was very Zoomy, And then the following week, it was just the technical people in the room, and then maybe about 8 people.
Well, guess what? I want to ask the people
August 14. But why did you choose the
October
day
14?
that you choose?
Well, I chose October 14 because it's Heroes Day. And my husband is my hero. I just believe he should be the 8th national hero of Jamaica. I want to him name right to having it. You understand? As a general.
No,
so I chose Heroes Day because he's my hero. And I just thought it was, you know what I mean? I just.
And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on. And you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. Hey, that is him. That is him. I ever give you the Ian joke about tango?
No.
I need to give that joke.
Very well. See the person for details. Conditions apply. But tell us in the chat. Tell us in the comment section. Tell us in the comment section why you chose your wedding day.
Your wedding day.
Why did you choose that? Or a significant relationship? You know, it's funny how aspects and seasons of our lives are encapsulated by time and a certain song. You know, or even a certain perfume or cologne. Because when you smell a certain cologne, you think about somebody.
That time.
You hear a certain song, it brings you back to the days of when you used to teach at Queens or Immaculate or whatever. Or it might remind me of a time when I was working at X Place or so. You know, it's funny how these things can happen.
I have a friend who got married on, Inspector Omar Bryant, he got married on January 13 because there are so many 13s that were important in his relationship with his wife. 13 was a very important number.
Wow.
And they make up their mind to them married. And,
the 13.
And a beer purple.
Have 13 children?
And a beer purple. It was a very purple wedding.
See that? That's what. So you're 14, I'm a 14. So when you said August, I'm like, Dennis, I gotta tell you.
We just couldn't.
I gotta tell you, the 14th is just what it is. But good morning to each and every one of you. Happy birthday to you if you're celebrating your birthday. And if you are celebrating your anniversary, happy anniversary to you. We wish you many more years of wedded bliss and just love. But tell us in the comments or YouTubers
why you chose
the day when you got married, okay?
Because you have it, you know this is always gonna be my wedding anniversary.
Well, you know, for some people, them divorce date at the day, at the big day. That they did it.
When it was secure.
When you got the
paper.
The absolute.
The absolute. The decree absolute.
The decree absolute. But tell us why you chose your wedding date.
Indeed.
The significance, if there is any. I know sometimes, people just choose a date because it's convenient. But sometimes there is something.
Rainy season.
Rainy season now.
The weather said that,
right? Good morning. So our Child Month tip of the day is safeguard our children's mental health by creating safe spaces for them to express their feelings. And I absolutely love that.
That is so important.
Big feelings. When they're angry, when they are sad, when they are feeling worried, frustrated, you have to let them know that you can always come to mommy, you can always come to daddy, and I will help you to manage those big feelings. But one of the most important things, to my mind, is that we also as adults have to manage our mental health so that we can manage theirs, because oftentimes we are projecting our anger or our resentment or even low self-esteem on our children without sometimes even knowing it. You know what I mean? So you want your children to always know that you're there for them, you're here for them, and they can come to you no matter what. Because pity them in the them can't angry too. So you have some adults who feel like, well, you're not paying any bills. And you know, I don't know. What you're angry about? What you sad about? Hello? Them a human being, you know?
I tell you about with Jackson. I always try to teach him about emotional specificity. So like I want you to know
emotional specificity.
I want you to know what your feelings are, because I don't want to. I feel away. Away.
What's away?
What is away? You know. And so I'm always trying to delineate between this emotion versus this emotion. So like I took away his tablet, and he was and me see him in a city a sulk, and I told him read a book, because you're spending too much time on this. And so he's reading his book in the couch, and I went to him and I said, what's going on? Why you look so sad? Why do you have to be sad? And he just looked up from the book and said, I'm not sad, I'm angry.
In your face?
And I was like, I said, well, angry and you read your book.
In your face.
I'm not sad.
That is, sometimes them say the things them, I'm going to say, you want to bust out a laugh?
Well, I know you want to laugh. You want to laugh because
Yeah.
More you have an authentic experience and not feel like you perform.
Yeah.
So me not really.
But I like that. I like the I like the openness of that children are allowed and they don't have to feel like they have to bottle their feelings.
Know your picnic. Like some of the time, I'll just take him one side and say, hey, come here. What's going on? What's this about? Tell me what's going on. But we take him away from everybody.
Yes.
So him not have to feel people, you know?
Yes, yeah, I like that.
And you know, just take them aside one time.
Children have their feelings.
Yeah, man.
Allow them to have their feelings. If they're sad, if they're not feeling up to it, if they're crying, allow them to go through the gamut of emotions.
Allow them to experience the odyssey of their emotions.
I like that, the odyssey.
It's a journey.
The Madapayende show? Hey, the odyssey.
The odyssey.
And speaking of the odyssey, the odyssey will be right here. You can see the odyssey on CVM. You see what's it? You see that? Right. Sunday. This Sunday, starting at what time, Dennis?
8 p.m.
That's right. Yenji.
Odyssey with Yenji.
I gotta tell you. And tonight also, incidentally, we have so many things going on. And we have great programs here on CVM. It is the grand finale of The Cut with none other than IT and Fancy Cat alongside late Wayne Marshall.
What am I say, Bob?
It's going to be absolutely hot. Season 3 finale, IT Lick Shot. Who knew?
IT Lick Shot.
IT Lick Shot. Yes, he's going to be on there. And I am just, listen, Dennis, tonight, I'll be making sure to get some popcorn. I am going to be up. I'm going to make sure that I'm right in front of my TV. Relax and watch IT and Fancy Cat on the grand finale of The Cut. Big ups to Wayne Marshall.
Mr. Hardware and Mr. Ellis.
Wonderful job that he's been doing, and his guests are amazing. Did you watch the Donnie McClurkin interview?
I did.
That was quite good as well.
It was very emotional, very emotionally honest.
But you know, it's so funny. When he came, and I don't remember which song he was going to sing, or we had mentioned, I just started getting emotional. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, no. There's something about like gospel and godly things that, you know, just
fall down and
we fall down. Yeah, I can't manage them showing up on the TV. You understand?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when you know what you've been through, when you're an overcomer, you know the impediments in life, you know the obstacles that you've overcome.
Yeah.
Some of them public, some of them private. But when you hear certain songs, again, it just brings you back to know that you are a strong person.
Like an era song, I remember what you did in a study room.
You are a warrior, not a warrior. Yeah. And you've come such a far way. You know, people see your glory, but they don't know your story. They see your life, but they don't know your sacrifice. And when you hear certain songs, it just really, you know, brings you back to that place.
And that goes again to the power of music, the power of good music, which is why I guess people like to talk about like music now, influence on you. It does. It does. The music that you're listening to is the soundtrack of your life. And you're going to have emotional and psychological ties to these songs for the rest of your life. Some songs are going to make you think about law school. Some songs are going to make you think about, you know. Assassin's album, Theory of Reggativity, is my last. Anytime I hear that album or song, Growing Up on the Banks of the Hope, and just even, if you don't, every day, then you if there's obstacle in your way, then you if you jump, and if you don't kill me,
it's gonna make me stronger. That is it, Dennis. Right at the aqueduct right there, I gotta tell you, that album for me took me through law school many days. So big ups to Jeffrey Campbell, a.k.a. Assassin, Agent Sasco, and the Theory of Reggativity, for me, humbly and respectfully, will always be a Grammy quality album.
One of the greatest albums to come out of Jamaica.
Time. Yes, big up to Agent Sasco. And speaking of Agent Sasco, what do we have next?
We have our mixtape.
That's
because guess what? Good music is important. So we're going to play some good music to get your morning grooving. So run the mixtape selector.